The Galactic Empire was the strongest power in known space. It ruled over hundreds of worlds and crushed anyone who refused to bow. Its fleets were massive, its weapons unstoppable, and its enemies usually died without leaving history behind. To the Empire, Earth was nothing special. A small blue planet on the edge of the galaxy. Its people were young, divided, and slow compared to advanced species. Humans were classified as a minor species. Not dangerous, not important, and not worth fear. When the Empire expanded its borders, Terran space was in the way. The Empire sent a message to Earth. It was not a request. It was an order to surrender control of nearby systems. Earth replied with a single short message. Terran territory is closed. Do not enter. This is your only warning. The Imperial Council laughed. Commanders joked about frightened humans trying to sound brave. Some officers even replayed the message as entertainment. To them, humans had no right to give warnings. The Empire decided to teach Earth a lesson. A small fleet was chosen for the task. Not a full invasion, just enough to make a point. The fleet crossed into Terran territory without resistance. There were no human warships waiting. No defense stations. No threats. Just empty space. At first, the Imperial fleet reported nothing unusual. Sensors were clear. Communications worked. Everything seemed normal. Then the lead ship stopped responding. Its signal did not fade. It simply ended. As if the ship never existed. Moments later, another ship vanished. No explosion. No energy spike. No debris. The fleet commander ordered a halt. Confusion spread across the bridge. Officers checked systems again and again. Nothing showed an enemy. Then space began to distort. Not violently. Not loudly. Just enough to make instruments fail. One by one, ships disappeared. Silent, clean, and final. Crews had no time to scream or fight. Within minutes, the entire Imperial fleet was gone. Back in Imperial space, Command waited for a victory report. Instead, they received silence. No distress call. No wreckage. No explanation. The Empire assumed it was a malfunction. They refused to believe humans could do this. Earth was still considered weak. Still considered harmless. The Council ordered all data erased from public records. They did not want fear spreading. The incident was labeled as a navigation failure. But rumors escaped. Merchant ships whispered about lost fleets. Explorers spoke of dead zones near Terran space. Earth did not celebrate. Humans did not send messages. They did not threaten again. They simply waited. From Earth, leaders watched quietly. They had warned the Empire once. They had no intention of warning again. Far away, the Empire prepared a larger force. A force meant to erase Earth completely. They believed the First Fleet was an accident. They believed power always wins. They were wrong. The galaxy was about to learn a simple truth. Terran space was not empty. It was protected. And those who entered without permission did not return. The warning had been real. And the cost of ignoring it was death. The Imperial High Council gathered in silence. A full fleet had vanished near Terran territory. This had never happened before. The Empire did not panic. Panic was for weak species. Instead, they searched for a logical excuse. Admirals blamed faulty navigation. Scientists blamed unknown space storms. Engineers blamed outdated sensor data. No one blamed Earth. Humans were still seen as too weak. Too young. Too divided to destroy an Imperial fleet. The warning from Earth was replayed again. Terran territory is closed. Do not enter. The Council laughed once more. They called it a scare tactic. A desperate message from a frightened world. The Empire decided the First Fleet was lost by chance. But chance would not be allowed to happen twice. This time, they prepared properly. A second fleet was assembled. Larger, stronger, and fully armed. Warships filled with elite soldiers and advanced weapons. The goal was simple. Enter Terran space. Find the cause of the failure. And punish Earth for its arrogance. As the fleet approached Terran borders, commanders stayed alert. Weapons were powered. Shields were raised. Still, there was nothing. No human ships. No defense platforms. No signals. Terran space looked empty. Calm. Peaceful. The fleet crossed the border. For a moment, nothing happened. Imperial officers relaxed slightly. Some even mocked the idea of danger. Then long-range scanners began to fail. Data streams broke apart. Maps no longer made sense. The fleet slowed its advance. Orders were repeated again and again. But responses came back delayed. Or not at all. The rear ships reported strange readings. Gravity shifts. Time delays. Invisible pressure around the hulls. Before the warnings reached command, the last ship vanished. No sound. No light. Just gone. Panic spread across the fleet. Formation broke. Pilots tried to turn back. But space no longer obeyed them. Jump drives failed. Escape routes collapsed. Every direction led deeper into the same trap. One ship fired its weapons blindly. Lasers vanished into empty darkness. Missiles never reached a target. Then another ship disappeared. Then another. The fleet commander shouted orders. But his voice cut off mid-sentence. Silence followed. In less than 10 minutes, the Second Imperial Fleet was erased. Back in Imperial space. Fear finally appeared. 2 fleets lost. No enemy seen. No battle recorded. The Council demanded answers. Intelligence agents searched Earth's history. They found something disturbing. Humans had always been quiet. But never careless. They prepared without showing it. They planned without announcing it. The Empire realized too late. Earth was not weak. Earth was patient. And patience was far more dangerous than strength. Far away, on Earth, no celebrations were held. No speeches were made. Humans watched the stars calmly. They knew the Empire would come again. And next time, the cost would be even higher. After losing 2 fleets, the Empire could no longer pretend. Fear entered the Imperial halls for the first time in centuries. The High Council ordered a full investigation. Every record about Earth was reopened. Every old report was reviewed. Humanity had been observed for a long time. They were seen as emotional, unstable, and divided by borders and beliefs. But something did not fit. If humans were weak, how had 2 Imperial fleets vanished? Without a fight, without a trace. Imperial intelligence began digging deeper. Not into human weapons, but into human behavior. They noticed a pattern. Humans avoided large wars in space. They focused on defense. They invested in research, not expansion. For centuries, Earth stayed quiet. No massive fleets. No galactic threats. No show of power. The Empire mistook this for fear. It was not fear. Hidden archives revealed the truth. Humans believed space itself was the battlefield. Not ships. Not soldiers. Terran scientists did not build large armadas. They built systems. They learned how gravity could be bent. How time could be slowed. How space could be folded and broken. Terran territory was filled with invisible layers. Each one deadly. Each one silent. There were no warning shots. No alarms. Just automatic responses. The moment a foreign ship crossed the border, Terran systems activated. Gravity wells locked targets in place. Escape drives failed instantly. Navigation became meaningless. Then came the final phase. Space collapsed inward. Not violently, but precisely. Ships were erased. Not destroyed. Removed. No debris. No survivors. Imperial analysts were horrified. There was no enemy to fight. No commander to challenge. Terran space itself was the weapon. Even worse. These systems were controlled by AI, cold, logical, and incapable of mercy. Humans did not need to watch every battle. The defenses worked without emotion. The Empire realized something terrifying. Humans trusted their machines with absolute power, because those machines were designed with one rule: protect Earth at any cost. No retreat options were built into Terran space. Once a ship entered, leaving was no longer possible. The Empire finally understood the warning. Terran territory is closed. Was not a threat. It was a statement of fact. Some council members suggested peace. Others suggested apology. But pride still ruled the Empire. They believed humans would eventually negotiate. They believed every species wanted control, influence, recognition. They were wrong again. Humans did not want the galaxy. They wanted safety. They did not conquer. They fortified. The Empire had attacked a wall, thinking it was an open door. Now the Empire faced a choice: respect Terran borders, or test them again. Far away, on Earth, Terran leaders monitored the situation. They knew the truth was spreading. The galaxy was beginning to understand. Terran space was not empty. It was engineered. And anyone who ignored the warning would vanish, just like the fleets before them. The Empire could no longer hide the truth. Too many fleets were missing. Too many commanders were silent. Fear spread across Imperial systems. Allies began to question Imperial strength. Neutral worlds stopped offering support. The High Council argued for days. Some demanded total war. Others demanded retreat. In the end, the Empire chose one last show of power. A message was sent to Earth. Not an apology, but a demand. The Empire ordered humanity to deactivate its defenses. They claimed Terran space was now under Imperial authority. Earth replied slowly, calmly. For the first time, a human voice spoke to the Empire. The diplomat was not a soldier, not a general, just a calm representative of Earth. He spoke clearly, without anger, without fear. He reminded the Empire of the warning. He explained that Terran territory was not a border. It was a boundary. He said Earth had no interest in war, no desire for conquest, no wish to rule others. But Earth would never allow invasion. The Empire rejected the message. Pride still blinded them. They believed humans were finally afraid. They believed this was negotiation. The Empire sent its largest fleet yet. A force meant to end the problem forever. This fleet was different. More ships, more weapons, more confidence. As the fleet approached Terran space, the galaxy watched. No warnings were sent this time. Earth stayed silent. The fleet crossed the border. Instantly, Terran systems activated. Gravity locked the ships in place. Navigation failed. Communication shattered. Admirals screamed orders. But nothing responded. Ships tried to fire. But weapons could not lock targets. The fleet attempted retreat. But escape paths no longer existed. One by one, the ships vanished. Some commanders finally understood. This was not a battle. It was enforcement. The Empire had ignored every chance to stop. Within minutes, the greatest Imperial fleet was gone. Across the galaxy, panic erupted. Worlds that once feared the Empire now saw it fall. The High Council collapsed into chaos. Blame turned into accusations. Accusations turned into fear. Earth sent one final message. Short and clear. Terran territory remains closed. No further warnings will be given. No threats followed. No demands. Just silence. The Empire's power was broken. Not by conquest, but by refusal. Humanity did not chase the Empire. Did not destroy its worlds. They simply closed their borders. The galaxy finally understood. Terran space was not defended by fleets. It was protected by certainty. And certainty was something the Empire could never defeat. The galaxy did not celebrate. It watched in silence. The Empire, once feared and unstoppable, was broken. Its fleets were gone. Its authority questioned. Its allies distant. Worlds that once bowed in fear now whispered about Terran space. Trade routes were changed. Star maps were redrawn. A wide region of space was marked in warning colors. Terran territory. Do not enter. Merchants avoided the region. Explorers refused to approach it. Even pirates stayed far away. The Empire tried to rebuild. But fear had already won. Internal wars began. Commanders blamed leaders. Leaders blamed each other. The Empire slowly collapsed from within. Earth did nothing. Humans did not attack weakened systems. They did not demand surrender. They did not expand their borders. They stayed home. On Earth, life continued. Cities remained busy. Children went to schools. Ships traveled peacefully between human colonies. Terran defenses stayed active. Silent and patient. Other species finally reached out. Not with threats, but with respect. They asked questions. They wanted to understand humanity. Humans answered carefully. They explained their history. A past filled with invasion, loss, and survival. Humans learned long ago. Peace without preparation is temporary. They did not trust empires. They trusted readiness. The galaxy accepted this. Terran space became neutral ground. Not controlled. Not conquered. Just protected. Stories spread among the stars. About fleets that vanished. About warnings that should never be ignored. Children of other worlds grew up hearing one rule. Never enter Terran territory. The Empire faded into history. Mentioned only in lessons about arrogance. Humanity became something new. Not rulers. Not conquerors. But guardians of their own space. From the